Speaking of triggers, a whole lot of people got triggered over on Twitter.
Right. And I'm here for it, even though I don't have an account anymore. I'm here for it to watch in the backgrounds.
The meltdowns have been really funny, actually. Twitter removed the verified blue check marks, and some people, they're not taking it well. That's for sure. Twitter began removing thousands of legacy blue check marks Thursday, and it didn't go over well with many Twitter users. And for those of you who perhaps don't use Twitter, the legacy blue check marks are like the accounts of note, like celebrities, organizations, people with big followings on the interwebs, like internet personalities and stuff like that, who were verified under the old verification system on Twitter. But many local cities,
like $10,000-$15,000 for it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Some people did. It was found out in the Twitter files that some people paid an exorbitant amount of money for their blue check, which is ridiculous. But I'm sure a lot of those people also paid for followers. So it looks like they're much more important than what they actually are. I think a lot of people do that, actually. I've noticed these huge accounts with like I get better engagement with my 7,000 followers than somebody with 200,000 followers. And I don't think those are real people.
Well, especially on TikTok. I mean, if you have an account and you don't put anything, you don't comment anything, people will still follow you. How does that happen?
It's so weird. It's a lot of bots, but I think it's also sometimes TikTok is a weird one, because sometimes if you see somebody in your comment sections a lot and you're having back and forth with them and you like them and stuff, some people just follow them back. I won't follow anyone back that doesn't make content, because I don't trust any of you, but but yeah, anyway, many local city and government agencies have lost their blue check mark, including Mayor Brandon Scott, Governor Wes Moore, and many state lawmakers. Even the Pope. The Pope lost his blue check, guys. I'm sure he's very devastated about that.
My God, the blue check's gone. How do I know it's the Pope? Maybe look at the follower counts.
I know people are acting as if that blue check just determines everything. It's well, you could probably look and figure it out with a little bit of critical thinking and reasoning abilities. Who has those these days?
That's a superpower, Ashley.
Apparently. In order to keep the blue check mark, you have to just subscribe to Twitter Blue. Subscribers can choose to pay $84 per year or $8 per month, unless you're trying to subscribe on the mobile, which is $11 or something stupid. Not to be confused with it really is, because they charge you more because you're using the App Store or something weird like that. Not to be confused with Twitter Blue. Certain users have the option of a gold or a gray check mark. Gold indicates the account is official business account, which those official business accounts, apparently to have those check marks, have to pay $1,000 per month, because it's an organization, and I think it has a certain amount of accounts that you can manage under that or whatever. That was just crazy to me. I was that's a lot of money per month. I work with a lot of organizations for what I do for work, and
well, if you're advertising on the platform to make money for your business, I understand the increase. I mean,
yeah, but you have to pay for the media. Well, you're paying for the advertisements as well, though. You pay for all those ads.
Fair.
An additional, those are ad campaigns. Those are completely separate from this, to my knowledge. Maybe there's some perks rolled in. I don't know about what the perks are, but to my knowledge, it was just the verification. In addition to, you have a certain number of individual accounts within your organization that you're basically buying all of that for, essentially. It's kind of how it works. So, but yeah, gold indicates the account is an official business account. I already read that. My bad. While the gray indicates an account represents a government multilateral organization or government multilateral official. Yeah. So there's a bunch of people just losing their minds about this. I can kind of understand maybe the Baltimore City, the police, the more governmental type stuff of guys, this is us, we swear. I did think it was really funny they did it on 420.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Elon though. I mean, this man has jokes.
Yeah,
He
I
does.
think
He's
I think
entertaining
he's
with it.
really
He scares
funny.
the shit out of me. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but he's entertaining. So
Yeah. I think he's really funny. And I think people get so worked up and it's just like, bro, he's trolling you. This is like it's like a big joke to him. Like, but yeah, so the 420 thing gave me a laugh after his infamous Joe Rogan appearance.
well, I mean, you also have to think this is also, the whole controversy about NPR and who else was that? There was another one. Um, I forget who it is now. But they were just like, "Oh, we're not going to remain on this platform." CBC, Canada Broadcasting Company. They were like, "We're not going to remain on this platform because you told the truth about us that we're government funded." And,
Yeah.
Canadian Broadcasting Company, he puts a label like 70% funded by the government, and they're like, "We're not 70% funded. We're under 70." And he's like, "Okay, fine. 69% funded by the government."
So funny.
So, yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of trolling he does with it, and it's hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and like I don't know, I can understand kind of like the more official accounts of like, hey, we just want people to know that like we're real and this is our actual account. Because I'm sure like there's a bunch of police departments and weird stuff on there that doesn't have they don't have thousands and thousands of followers, Probably got like 5K, 10K, maybe. A lot of stuff like that though tends to be small accounts. But yeah,
Well, I love this part though. It says the Maryland State Delegate Marlon Ampry doesn't agree with the subscription service, and it shows his tweet, and it ends there. However, they leave out a lot of it, like this one. So Alyssa Milano goes on saying, "So by revoking my blue check mark because I won't pay some arbitrary fees, someone can just be me and say a bunch of BS. Does that mean Twitter and Elon Musk are liable for defamation or identity theft fraud? No,
Oh, it's really
absolutely not."
funny. It's really funny because she said this, somebody somebody made a troll account and has been posting crazy stuff on it, like crazy-ish. But it's so funny because like people believe it. Like people are like, yeah, it's probably something she said. And it's been very entertaining. Like there's an account that has literally the same name, but the end of it has another underscore, and like the bio is ridiculous, and so it's just been funny. People have been sharing posts from there, and I just thought it was funny. It's like, don't say stuff like this because people will just go and do it to troll you. Like,
By the way, the reason why Jeremy Hambley and Sydney Watson's show is called Community Notes is because this is a community note. They got it from this. Impersonation is still and has always been, since the rules set since 2018, verified checkmark or not, it is still against the rules. I love the fact that that is allowed now. I love the fact that they are actually doing this because when you look at these things, you see these people and you go in there and you read these and it's just like, well, who are you? You don't, it doesn't matter. You're not part of our crowd. So, I mean, this blue check mark has been used to say, I'm better than you. Look at me. And now they're
well,
crying because that's not a thing anymore.
I think it's really funny because, like, okay, so like I have a check on YouTube, right? Because like when you hit 100K subscribers on YouTube, you can apply for a verification check mark to be like, this is me. Like, and that was like a really cool thing. I was like all excited, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, because it's just like the novelty of it. And then like, people kind of like, they're like, oh, that's you. It's not like they know it's you. You know what I mean? But it's not something that I'm gonna like hang my hat on forever and be like, this validates my identity. Like, no, bro, it's just like it was a fun little thing. It's like, I was new to YouTube. I was like, this is really fun. It's cool, but that's about it. Like, I don't know. I think people take that shit way too seriously. And
they definitely do. Like, I'll never be checked. It doesn't matter because especially on YouTube, especially you can make a deep fake about me. I'll just be like, hey, that's BS. It's not me. Even if I had like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million on my account, it's easy to tell somebody apart. It's easy to tell, whose account is not whose views on that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there is an actual problem with people stealing the work of others because Jeremy Hamley had an intro. I think it came from the movie American Psycho, where they were talking about the Bud Light thing and
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, that
And
one dude stole his intro.
yeah, yeah,
He put out like
and
2 different videos too.
yeah, they were the same, literally the same video, just edited different ways, and I'm just like, dude, what?
Well, and he posted them to 2 different channels because I remember I like went and looked as soon as somebody saw that, but by the time I even looked at it, he had taken them off, and he stole the
I brought that up
thumbnails.
to him. I literally, I just sent him an email. I was like, you know, the subject of it was, does this look familiar to your intro? And I just put the link, and he's just like, WTF, bro? They stole my work. It's like, yeah. He's like, where'd you find this? And I was just like, just came across my feed because he posted it in like 4 or 5 hours. It hit like 1,500 views, and that's how it came across my feed. And I'm just like, looks familiar.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Like, do your own intro, man. If you want a cool, funny thing, like figure out how to do it. Don't steal somebody else's work. Because I mean, like, so many, you know, Jeremy has editors and stuff. But anyway, Freely Ashley, few know about the first created synthetic hormone in 1938 and its side effects on mothers and their children and their children's children. Could you do some research on? I'll write that down. Hold on. Pause. Dithylstilbestrol? I feel like I said that correctly. Yeah, 1938. All right. Thank you for bringing that up. I will look into it. I've actually been kind of wondering about doing like a deep dive on like hormonal birth control and stuff like that. So yeah, it might play in pretty well.
I gotta laugh at this one.
I incited violence by telling somebody who called Irish people knucking. Bro. Who called Irish people knuckle-dragging potato boys? Why? I'm sorry. If you're Irish, that's potato boy. Like, I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
People can have some great sense of humors, even if it's something horrible. But yes, I saw that come across there, and I was like, yes, this is great. This is awesome. But yeah, even Charlie Sheen, like this one right here. Oh my God, guys. I'm sorry your fancy rocket exploded in spectacular fashion. I'm certain you'll build an even bigger and more explodey one. Now, may I please have my blue check back? It would mean a lot to me. Thank you in advance. Sincerely, Charlie Sheen.
Bro, I thought this was really funny. Like, and even bigger and more explodey one. Well, go to his profile, like click on the main thing and then go down. So he still has it, right? So go down one more. That's his pin tweet. Go down. Oh no, go back up. Because there's a second one that no. Did he delete it? Go back up. There we go. Oh, okay. So I'm just wrong. My bad. I was like, no, go up. That's the tweet I needed. It's when he like paid the $8 for. So Elon Musk paid a couple of celebrities $8. And he said, oh my, it's like Christmas and my birthday all at once. Elon Musk, I'm flushed with gratitude. Rock star move, good sir. So it's actually funny because people were kind of citing this as like, oh, look, he was demanding his blue check mark back and then started sucking up when he got it. And I was like, well, he wasn't really like his, like this post is pretty, you know, it's not so much demanding. He's literally like, may I please have it back? It's more like begging. So you can.
I think that was. I do think it was an underhanded thing, but I think it was more supposed to be like a joke, like a little gab kind of situation. Is like he understands because I'm sure he knows that Elon Musk was like, look, this probably isn't going to work and it's probably going to explode, but we're going to learn a lot from it. And then it exploded. So yeah.
I mean, he's had a lot of failures, but you know that's the name of the game when you're building. freaking rockets.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, look at
but
what
no,
was it? Apollo 12, Apollo 13 was the one that exploded. The Challenger.
12. I thought it was the one before 13. I don't know. I'd have to. It wasn't 13 like there's like a bunch of movies made and they like went up in
That
space.
was
But they didn't,
Apollo
like,
11.
that was Apollo 11. Okay, my bad.
But yeah, I feel like this one was more of a kind of trolly kind of, yeah, your thing blew up, but help me out a little bit here. You know, I could understand this one. I could see. I think it is actually hilarious. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
no,
having a meltdown. It's just great.
no, I thought it was funny. I think Stephen King had the meltdown because he got like mad. So like there's factions of celebrities that were mad about their blue checks being taken, right? And then they were like, no, we don't even want the blue checks. I don't want that blue check because I don't want anyone to like, I don't want to pay you this $8. And Stephen King, like, so Elon paid for his, and Stephen King's like really mad about it. Like he's really irritated. He's like, no, I don't want it. And like it actually is really disheartening for me because I used to love Stephen King. Like I have like so many of Stephen King's books. He was one of the very first authors I really started to enjoy. I read Salem's Lot when I was like 13. It was like the first like horror book that I've ever read, and I love that genre. So when I when I got to Twitter and I started seeing what he was saying, I was like, oh my God. Like, he's lost his freaking mind. Like, it's really
He's
disappointing.
always been a weird psychotic dude, though. That's how he writes his stories, which are a lot of his old stuff is great. His new stuff is just like, this lamp is now a possessed alien demon baby. What?
I haven't read any of his new stuff. I think unfortunately, because he was really into you know, he had a lot of addiction issues. Like he doesn't even remember writing Cujo. Like has no memory of writing Cujo. That's how messed up he was when he wrote it. And it was just like a fantastic book. And it's like, oh, that's really unfortunate for you, bro. Like I can't imagine being blitzed out of my mind like that and having it be good and come together well, because I am a writer, if anybody didn't know. By the way, you should follow my Substack or like however, subscribe to it, whatever you do over there, because I'm trying to get more into like writing again and maybe like some more, I don't know, like journalistic type stuff. I need to shake the dust off, so to speak. So yeah, Substack is in my link tree. But
as a matter of fact,
so
we'll bring it up after this little story here. I'll put it in the rotation real quick, and we can check out the one she sent me about it. And I totally forgot till you mentioned it. Thank you, because I was just gonna totally just pass that one up. I apologize.
Oh no, I mean,
but yeah,
it came up naturally.
Like,
so.
Stephen King, like his early work. You're talking about Christine. You're talking about you know,
Christine, Salem's Lot, Pet Cemetery, Cujo,
The Shining.
The Shining is a huge one.
If you can get past the adult situation with the kids in It, that was one of the very few movies as a kid scared the living crap out of me.
You know, I've read the entire book and it took me a while to read because it's a huge book. It's like that and like Dreamcatcher are both like just freaking chunks. And it was
weird until the worms started coming out of people's butts. And then I'm just like, what happened here?
Dreamcatcher was a good one. I can't remember if I read the book. I mean, I've seen the movie like a bunch. I know I have the book. That's actually a problem with me. I'll buy like 1 million books all at once, and then like it just takes me forever to get through them all. Especially now, it's a little bit harder, and I'm trying to get more into nonfiction. Like that's what was my like. I love fiction, and I love like fantasy and stories and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. So I
will admit, Duddits was the star of Dreamcatcher. That dude was incredibly great.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, no, away is the gay. I still laugh at that. That's funny. But yeah, the reason why we bring this up is his little weird meltdown, and Elon's reaction is great. You want to go ahead and read that, Ashley?
It says my Twitter account says I'm subscribed to Twitter Blue. I haven't. My Twitter account says I have given a phone number. I haven't. Then
You're welcome.
Says, you're welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste. And that it's just so funny. It's like he knows how much he hates him, and he's like, I'm gonna troll you. I'm gonna just pay.
He did it just to be like, you were the one saying you were gonna leave Twitter. You're not gonna pay for this. You were being.
They all say that they're gonna leave Twitter, and then they don't. I'm like, yeah, because you're all just as addicted. You want because like where else are you gonna just spew your ranting ramblings online that people care about? Like you can do that on Instagram.
Go? Mastodon that's just gonna ban you.
Mastodon is a crazy place anyway. Like I saw people moving there. I'm like, you're weird. You're weird people. Like I'm not gonna go to some weird like third. I don't know. That app seems crazy. And I guess there was like a bunch of like, I don't know, super anti-Semitic people over there and stuff like that. And maybe they were trolling. I don't freaking know, but it just was funny to me. Like you have all these problems with the way people talk about things, and you're going to go to a platform that's just like rife with all of the hateful rhetoric that you hate so much, which is actually probably pretty legit. But
yeah, this one's a little bit weird too. I mean, I love the fact that that Stephen King was trolled so hard. You know full well he was just raging out when he saw that. You know full well he was raging about that one because they always have that problem.
Hey Evan, yeah, people react to my stuff all the time. Whatever. Like I don't know where he's doing it. But yeah, they can have a blast with that. The consistency videos that I do are just like fun. They're like fun little quick, you know, and people really hate those ones. So whatever.
Right. But yeah,
they can have a good time with that. I don't watch people reacting to my stuff. I don't typically do that, especially if I get the vibe that they're gonna just hate on me the whole time. There's no point of me. I'm not gonna go back and forth with people. I make my content. I put it on the internet. People can do what they want with it after that.
Me, on the other hand,
reacting to it. So
I enjoy the back and forth with people. It makes my day.
It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of my time. I don't have a lot of time. I did it on TikTok for so long, right? So like I would just go back and forth, and I would talk to people, and I would try to, and it was just always like me trying to be like calm and reasonable and like explain my position on something, and they would just like call me a bunch of names and call me names, make a million assumptions about me, things that don't matter, and every once in a while I'll respond to one of those. But for the most part, I just stopped doing that. It's just like I said, just a waste of my time. I have a lot of stuff going on. I have 2 kids. I have work. I have my social media stuff. Like I don't have time to waste on people. And the thing about it is, I follow Zuby. I don't know if you guys follow Zuby. He said something the other day though that was like, what did he say? Basically, essentially, it was like people are going to talk about you. Just keep working.
Right.
That's what I'm doing.
I like Zuby. He's pretty cool.
He's really cool.
Level-headed people I've seen, but the fact that he trolls and he did that the what was it, the deadlift or the deadlift record, saying he's a woman, the deadlift, and says this is stupid, I'm a man. That was epic.
Yeah, that was a really funny one. No, Zuby's cool people, man, and I think I listen to him a lot and listen to the message he puts out in the world, and it just amazes me that people hate him or like don't, you know, like it's like, dude, he's actually like a really good guy. And I had that whole talk with him on my YouTube, which I was super nervous to do. It was like I never expected him to agree, and so like I had like sent him a message like, will you come on my YouTube channel? He was like, yep, in like 2 days, and I was like, okay. No, so I don't know. I haven't watched that back in a while, and I don't really want to because I was just so nervous during it. Ashley, when you talk like liberal, you know the words, and they know you know the stuff, and you could tear it apart. You get them especially riled up. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people act like it's funny to me because people will say, "Oh, you're just lying. You don't know what the left even wants. You don't know what leftists are even like. You don't know the things that they advocate for." Because, you know, I don't know. I think a lot of people, they base the world off of their own perspective, obviously. And so they get stuck in that's not happening mindset of like nobody's advocating for that because they're not advocating for that personally, and they're ignoring it on the interwebs. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody who leaves the cult members really don't like.
Well, no, see, Stacey, his was in the UK. If I'm not mistaken, he still holds that. That was a bench press that Canada dude did, not deadlift. But yeah, LeBron James's little. This is weird. This is just incredibly weird. I don't know what this dude was thinking. He says, "Well, guess my blue check will be gone soon because if you know me, I ain't paying the $5." And then after all his whining, King James paid for his check mark. Clown. And I don't think this is one Elon Musk did.
What did Greg say? I love Greg. What did he say?
LeBron,
a couple things. The check
mark is white, not blue. It's $8, not $5. DM me if you need help paying.
He's that account is so funny.
And there was another one that kind of went through the same thing, but they have their night mode on, so it's black to them, not white. They're on mobile, so it's 11, not 8.
I'm in dark mode. I can't do the white. I don't know how y'all do like white everything on your screen. Like it hurts my eyes. I have to do dark mode on like everything.
I keep everything dark mode.
Yeah, I can't. I can't keep
the only time I actually do like it with a white background or something like that is if I'm like outside and the sun is shining, because that actually does help for everything to be white. That way the sun kind of, that kind of blurs away with the light from the sun, and all you see is the black writing. That's about the only time I like that. But I keep mine dark, so everything on the screen is going to be black background. But yeah, this one is just incredibly funny because the dude has always been talking about, well, this is not fair. This is this is that. The dude did not pay that $10,000-$15,000. He got it because he's an influential person, but decided to pay the money because, well, $5 is literally pocket change to the dude. So, sorry, $8 is pocket change to the dude. But yeah.
It's just silly. It's just a silly thing. Like, oh, you're gonna complain about $8. Okay, man. But yeah, the Vic, that last chat I just showed. I think it's funny because my husband's like you. He doesn't have any social media. Not one thing. Like he watches YouTube. That's about it. And he's just always like, I'm just a much happier person. So I just always think it's funny. Like there's very few people who are unscathed by social media. And but I always laugh at him because he'll like read an article and he'll complain about it to me or like, go on a tangent or whatever. I'm like, look, if you had social media, you could do this. You could just complain about everything. He goes, no, I would type way too. I would just go off way too much. I can't be on there.